Hey, guys, welcome back. It's Monday, and I hope you guys had a beautiful weekend. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. We're back to talk about Camille Grammer because she's at it again on Twitter, and we have all those details. But before we do, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. Now, with that, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys, so we know that the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, they're gearing up for season 12. They start filming at the end of October, and it's going to be one hell of a season. We already have some confirmed cast members, and I told you after talking to a few friends over at production that we heard everyone would be returning to the show. So that would be Crystal Kung-Minkoff, who has already confirmed, yes, she'll be back. Kathy Hilton already confirmed, yes, on the Kelly Clarkson show that she would come back. Garcelle has been offered to come back, but right now she's on the fence, which I think is a publicity stunt. I feel like she'll be back. We obviously know Lisa Rinna is not going anywhere. Kyle Richards is not going anywhere, especially if Kathy Hilton's there. And the only person who would really be in question would be Dorit, because we know Sutton's not going anywhere, and neither is Erica Girardi. Dorit Kemsley hasn't had much of a storyline this season, and it seemed like her biggest claim this season to any sort of storyline would be her wedding dress reveal, her wedding dress line, which was beautiful, $35,000 for a wedding dress. I don't know where the hell that price tag came from, but that was the biggest part of her storyline. Some would say too, though, Crystal didn't have a storyline, Lisa Rinna didn't have a storyline. So why are you going in just on Dorit? Well, technically I'm not. Camille Grammer is, and like I said, she's back at it on Twitter. This is what she said. I think that Denise Richards should replace Dorit. Dorit Kemsley hasn't had a storyline in years and is protected. PK, Dorit's husband, made her interesting this season. I think Camille's obviously referring to the fact that PK was raising some eyebrows when it came to everything going on with the Erica Girardi scandal, because he feels like she is not handling it the right way. He feels like ever since she started posting, after all this came out, she was getting a divorce, she was accused of a sham divorce. The LA Times article came out, finding out there's widows, orphans, victims, a burglary, an eye surgery, a conservatorship. Gosh, it just doesn't stop. After all of this came out, PK voiced his concerns to Dorit and said, I think it's absolutely crazy what Erica is doing, how she's handling this. Somebody needs to get her a crisis PR management team, because by her going on social media and posting these risque photos of herself, it doesn't look good. It's not a good look for her. And I honestly agree with it, because she's on Twitter. She's going back and forth with Ronald Richards. She's going back and forth with fans who are telling her, get off Twitter. Maybe, you know, I mean, some fans are ruthless and they're attacking her and she's commenting back at it. But I feel like I would take, if this were my client, I would, as her defense team, be like, get off of social media. And she's not posting anything in regards to the victims. She's just posting photos of her looking like she's living her best life. And some might say that's insensitive. But Erica did say on the show, if I look like I'm going out and I go to an event and I'm smiling, then I don't care. If I say something about the victims, I'm only saying something about the victims in order to gain sympathy. She was pretty much letting us know at this point, she's in a lose-lose situation. And I think the longer she goes without saying anything about the victims, that will continue to be the issue. Unfortunately, we all are wondering what she feels about the victims. Is she going to say anything? And some of the women have chimed in, Lisa Rinna and Kyle Richards especially, saying that they feel like her defense team has told her, do not say anything about the victims, because then it'll make it look like you potentially knew something. So just don't say anything. Even though Erica has said enough already that Ronald Richards feels, well, he's been vocal about it on Twitter, that Erica, by as much as, you know, she's already said, well, she might get herself in more trouble than she actually knows, because he feels like, I think from watching his Twitter, that she has revealed some admissions on the show. And if that's the case, again, I think the defense team is probably like, why are you filming? Why do you have a social media account? I don't know. Getting back to Crystal Kung-Minkoff and Kathy Hilton, again, the news was revealed after Kathy Hilton went on the Kelly Clarkson show. And, you know, she was asked, what's next? Would you come back to the show? And she's like, well, I would like to. And Kelly Clarkson was like, well, you're kind of like a Bravo icon now. So what are your thoughts? When do you know? And she's like, well, contracts are supposed to go out 2 weeks after the reunion. So that would have been this past Friday, which means Kathy Hilton would already have her contract, even though she is a reduced role. And I saw where some fans were like, Kathy Hilton is fighting so hard for that diamond. But guys, if she wanted the diamond, she would have the diamond. She doesn't have to fight for anything. I just want to make that very clear. If Kathy Hilton wanted to be a full-time diamond holder, she absolutely would, but that also comes with a few other restraints, some time stipulations, more contractual obligations. She has more of her time that she has to invest into the show and into production if she decides she wants to be a full-time diamond holder. And I don't think that's what she's doing it for. I think she's doing it to just kind of have some fun, spend time with her sister, and now use this more found fame, even though she was famous enough, but use this fame that's elevated now from the show where people get to really kind of see and understand who Kathy Hilton is to do better. I mean, she just hosted a children's charity event to help them get Christmas gifts and holiday gifts for when that time comes. And she hosted it at the Abbey, and they made a shit ton of money because everyone wants to line up and see Kathy Hilton. It's crazy, but it's amazing at the same time. It's honestly so bizarre and interesting to me. The fandom is off the charts. Now, when Crystal Kung Minkoff was having a conversation with Josh Flagg from $1 Million Listing, they had a one-on-one, and he asked her, what's next for you? She said, filming season 2 for me, which she means season 12, but for her, it's her second season. He asked her, what's your storyline going to be this season? And she said, I don't know. I didn't really walk in with the storyline ever. I didn't walk in with one last season, which we all know, but we're hoping this season Crystal Kung Minkoff has more of a storyline than fighting with Sutton Strack and also telling us about her $1 million basement that she's building out. I love her on the show. I think she needs a second season. And to be fair, I've said this since day one. Sutton Strack didn't deliver the best season on her freshman season. And look at how she came to play this season. She's coming in with the confessional. She's killing it. She's doing the damn thing. So I'm not mad at her being on the show. I actually like the fact that I'm thankful that we brought her back to the show because she's asking all of the questions that the fans wanted to know. Now, we have to remember Crystal Kung Minkoff walking into her freshman season. She didn't know how production was going to work. She didn't know what it was going to be like with the cameras in these long filming days or how the dynamics work with the women. And I'm sure she was just trying to get her feet wet and see how this is all actually going to play out. So now that she's seen it, now that she's gotten her feet a little bit wet, I have a feeling she is going to deliver one hell of a season. Of course, we already said that Garcelle's on the fence, but one person we haven't heard from, actually a few people, one of them, though, that everyone's concerned about would be Dorit Kinsley. I'm wondering, do you guys think Camille is right in that she's protected? And why do they continue to bring her back on the show if there is no storyline? But again, playing devil's advocate, they could say the same thing for a lot of the women. A lot of the women did not have a storyline this season. And the Dorit scandal, without it, what would we have really been talking about? But do you think Denise Richards should come in and replace Dorit? I mean, it could be interesting. Her and Lisa Rinna, that would give us more of a storyline than Dorit's giving us with the wedding dresses. And I don't see them adding another person because they already have 8 women. I don't see them adding a 9th. And if Denise comes back, I also don't see her taking a reduced friend role. There's a lot of things that I would see wrong with this, but I do have a lot of questions, though, at the end of the day, because we know that the finale is coming up this weekend where we're seeing the Chinese New Year party at Crystal Kung Minkoff's house. And we see where Garcelle tells Lisa, I think you should call Denise. I think you should call her, and I think you should apologize. Lisa looks so uncomfortable, like, no, you're out of your mind. I'm not doing that. But if she does, I'm sure it will be on camera. I'm sure that everything will be filmed for the fans. And I'm sure that would be a great segue to bring Denise back on the show. I don't know if producers would want to do that, though, after how she showed out last time, saying bravo, 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 breaking the fourth wall and walking away from any conversation where she felt uncomfortable. That's not really a part of the contract, especially when they gave you a 4-year, $4 million contract that she broke. All right. All right. Well, guys, I have questions for you. I've asked the questions, and now I need your unfiltered opinion. So go ahead. If you haven't already, go ahead, comment below. And before you go, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell. Also, don't forget, today we're going live at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going live with Down with Jason on his channel to talk about last night's episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. And then at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going live with Kempire and Jason on my channel to talk about The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Last night's episode was amazing. So actually, both of them are. You don't want to miss anything. We'll see you soon. Happy Monday. Bye, guys.